Hello everybody, good morning. My name is Deji Akinton, and today I'll be talking to you on a topic that says when partnership does not produce effectiveness. When partnership does not produce effectiveness. It is said that in order to multiply your efficiency, you need partnership. But the question is this: is it all partnership that can produce effectiveness? So what are the qualities, or how do you identify partnership that will not produce effectiveness? Partnership means partners on the same ship, meaning that these people are on the same ship and are heading somewhere. The first illustration is Paul's ship. Paul in the scriptures was headed somewhere. He was headed to Rome. And before that particular journey, he said to the people on the same ship, and he told them that I perceive that this voyage is going to crash. And the people laughed him to scorn. The people laughed him to scorn. Well, what do you know about how to sail? And a short while later, in the middle of the sea, exactly what Paul predicted started to happen. Partnership that will not produce effectiveness involves individuals that are on the same ship, but their perception does not see the same possibilities. Their perception do not see the same possibilities. It could be friendship, it could be associations, business partners, colleagues, whose perception does not come together to see a common possibilities, will be filled more with dispute than getting work done. Therefore, the frequency of disputing will be more than the frequency of work done. So when these people comes together, they will precipitate dispute rather than precipitating possibilities. And it will just be a matter of time before all of them will call it quit. Just as you can see in the ship of Paul, the ship could not make it as a whole to the other side because they could not listen to the perception of somebody. Now, if you look at people that have done well in the organization, example of that is Henry Ford. Henry Ford was the first person to apply the assembly line method towards mass production of cars. And he said he has a vision that the average Americans will be able to afford cars, because in those days only the rich people have access to cars. But how he was going to go about it was not clear to him until one of his workers in his workforce came to him and said one day that he went to the abattoir and he saw the assembly line system in abattoir, that same assembly line system that they had seen in the abattoir, they can also apply it to car manufacturing. Henry Ford listened to that his worker, and today it is history. Henry Ford is now referred to as the father of modern day automobile. On the contrary is Thomas Alva Edison, who has been regarded as one of the most successful inventors of all time. His worker one day, Nikola Tesla, he told Thomas Alva Edison that I can see that the future of electricity is alternating voltage. Because then most of the invention of Thomas Alva Edison was powered by direct voltage. But Thomas Edison ignored him. He didn't listen to him. And it's just a matter of years. All the industrial things we see around us today, domestic electricity application, industrial electric application, is powered by what Nikola Tesla predicted. That electricity, the future of electricity, is in alternating voltage. If Thomas Alva Edison had listened to the perception of Nikola Tesla, just like Henry Ford listened to the perception of his worker, then the story and its outcome will have been different. Number 2 is the Jonah's ship. God sent Jonah to Nineveh to go and preach, but Jonah was headed in Tarshish. And when Jonah entered that ship had a lot of crisis. Why? Because the ambition of Jonah was lopsided. It is very dangerous for you to be in a ship with people that are not headed in the direction of their predominant giftings or in the direction of their predominant calling. These are people that will just tell you this. We are just doing this thing in order to manage. Meaning that their heart is not in what they are doing. Their heart is not in what they are doing. And the common thing they say is, I'm just doing this thing for a temporary case. So you cannot see that commitment. You cannot see enthusiasm. Such sheep, we see a lot of crisis on the outside. Just like Jonah brought into that sheep. And until they threw Jonah out of their sheep did not stabilize. Perhaps you are in a partnership that is lopsided. It is lopsided. The people are not giving the same level of commitment that you are giving. The people do not have the same level of interest that you are having. Many of them are laid back and they just come to that particular relation association and say, I'm just doing this thing passively. It is better for you to escape in order for you to achieve your ultimate goal. On the final note, what is the sheep I will recommend to you? It is the Jesus sheep. Jesus told the disciples, let us go over to the other side. And as they were crossing over to the other side, there were storms on the outside, but Jesus was on the inside, sleeping. No matter the partnership that you find yourself in, there is possibility that there will be external crisis. But that external crisis cannot affect the internal crisis. If there's a man on that ship, or if there is a network on that ship that is well persuaded that they are able to get to the other side. So because Jesus had said, let us go over to the other side, he was asleep and at rest, and he was full of faith on the ship. Blessed are you if you are on a ship that is filled with individuals that are well persuaded that the vision that you have conceived in coming together in that partnership, you are well able to achieve it. When this happens, ship netted does not sink because of external tribulation. Sink ship according to the law of Archimedes, principle of flotation. The ship, when water begins to enter into that ship, which simply means that external crisis, provided doesn't bring water into the ship, your faith can be steady. And with that, you are not taking decisions based on what is happening on the outside. Your decision, you are still seeking, you are still sticking to the vision that you have seen. External crisis can cause you to adapt, to change methods, but your fundamental decision is still coming from your faith, from the belief that you have had. And because Jesus said that it was just a matter of time, he rebuked the wind and he came over to the other side. And this is the sheep I'm recommending to you, for you to understand that that is the partnership that can work, and for you to refuse partnership that does not work. Remember to look at us on Instagram on Deji Akintola 7, and on our Facebook at Wisdom for Winning, and of course look at us on YouTube on So Passionate International. Till I come your way next time, remember the qualities of partnership that does not work, that does not produce effectiveness, and avoid them. God bless you.